is YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, like I was watching some streamers, and it's funny, like most streamers will cater to the Twitch audience a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
because Twitch is a little bit more fun, right? You got all the emotes, you got all the bits, the subs, everything, right?
All the trinkets.
Yeah, but I was noticing that like the software development streamers were getting slightly more viewers on YouTube now, so kind of interesting.
Yeah, good to know.
Okay, is it live on Twitch? I can't tell. Yeah, I'm live. Okay. Cool. We're live. Start recording. Hello, chat. Oh, yeah, I should check my chat. Make sure that I've got my thing hooked up. It is hooked up. We're good. Cool. And, last thing. Need a timer. Okay, welcome back to the newsroom. We've only got a few articles today, which is good because both Night Owl and I are very low energy today. I was sick. He's a little injured. So we're going to get through this together real quick. And actually, based on just the titles alone, I'm excited for these ones. These look kind of fun. So let's get into it.
The articles this week are a little bit more like, I don't know, interesting than the ones we had a couple of weeks ago. No more Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Woo!
no Ubisoft.
All right. Do you want me to take it away on the first one?
Well, let me just read this real quick, because like I said, I have not read these this week, and so I'm just going to read like the intros and stuff. Yeah. French government awards knighthoods to Clair Obscur Expedition 33 devs. Our deepest thanks go to our team who shaped this world and to the millions of players who have brought it to life, says Sandfall Interactive. So yeah, that's crazy. Take it away.
Yeah, so the French government, I'm just reading from the article right now. The French government has honored key staff at Sandfall Interactive with knighthoods in the Order of Arts and Letters, which just that, it sounds so fancy.
Yeah.
So cool. And of course, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was like one of the breakout hits of last year. They won many awards. Like I think it says later in the article that they won the most awards in Game Awards history. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 9. I think they won 9 awards.
It's crazy. Yeah. But so the reason for this knighthood, just to give some context, is French Minister of Culture, Rachida Dati. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I took the pronunciation from Wikipedia, so a little salt there. But she said that the government wanted to celebrate the brilliant success of a collective, and kind of pointed to the fact that the video game industry is going through a difficult period, but the success of this dev team restores confidence, energy, and momentum to the entire sector, which absolutely I think is true. Even though I haven't released the game, I think it's really cool to see such a breakout hit. Now, I didn't enjoy the game as much as other people, but that's just how it is. But I just think it's a really cool story. Is there precedence of people getting like knighted in America? Is that a thing that happens?
No, I think you have to have a kingdom first to do that.
I guess.
So maybe the question
you guys
is
absolutely don't.
Yeah, so maybe the question is there precedence for knighting in Sweden?
I think there is, but not in game dev, as far as I know.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
And that's what's interesting as well, is that, because they mentioned it a little bit later as well, that there were distinctions given previously for example, to Rayman creator Michel Ancel, I'm guessing, as well as Miyamoto of Nintendo fame, and Alone in the Dark developer Frederic Reynal. And Miyamoto, as far as I know, isn't French, but I'm guessing it's an honorable, like, knighthood or something. But really, really cool. I will mention as well, Legend of Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma. I'm not very good at Japanese when it's spelled out like this.
Aonuma, yeah.
Aonuma, yeah. I just wanted to mention them as well, because, yeah, that's all the ones in the article. But yeah, pretty cool, just like to knight an entire dev team.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And I'm not sure how I would react if I was like given a knighthood for developing a video game. That seems like a lot. Would you react well to it?
To a knighting?
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah! I've always wanted to be a sir. That'd be sweet.
I feel like I'm a little scared. Like if that were to happen to me, like how do you even act when you show up and like, oh, now you're gonna be knighted?
I don't know. I mean, like Elton John was knighted. It's not like he's like.
It's true.
I like classically. I don't know, like polite or I don't. You know what I mean? Like I think you can be kind of crazy or kind of out there and still be a knight these days. I don't think it means as much as it did back in the day.
I suppose so. But anyway, short story, not much to talk about really, but just a little congrats to the Clair Obscur team for, doing a good job and getting an award that's definitely special.
Yeah. Yeah, this is cool.
It is really cool, actually.
I mean, all of them knighted. That's crazy. That's so many people.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is like some sort of record, like knighting this many people at once.
I don't know. The article doesn't say, but I'm sure it's like not common.
Yeah.
I also love the guy in the red hat. I don't know what it's called in French.
Beret.
Or in English.
I think that's a beret. Let me double check.
Probably. I think you're right. We call it busker, which is
it's a beret.
A little gross.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I did just pop this open. This one, it says that they were indeed knighted in France. So apparently, France can knight people of different. What's the term? Like, oh my gosh, my brain. Like of a different country.
Yeah.
Right. Which is interesting because I'm pretty sure that like UK can't do that. Pretty sure you got to be like born in the UK to be knighted. Could be wrong.
Yeah, that's kind of what confused me as well. But hey, like maybe they just thought it was like cool. Like they have this power to knight people, and they just saw people that did something really cool. Of course, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, maybe the difference is like in France, they are not ruled by a current monarchy, right? But in UK they are.
Yeah, this was the government handing out the award. And I'm guessing that back in 2006 that was true as well. So I guess it makes it a little different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up.
But yeah, this is a fun one.
In Sweden.
We hope that our journey will inspire all those who wish to take up the plunge and create their own work. That's a good way to look at it. I've definitely been like skeptical of it because, of the game Expedition 33, because it was like it won everything, and so it kind of felt like someone liked them a little too much, or like it also, I'm kind of deep in the weeds on like game dev performance stuff, and apparently like they weren't using Unreal very well. I guess there's like a lot of Unreal Engine hate that I'm like kind of wrapped up in, but like I think this is the message to take away is like, even if those things are true, like this was an indie studio that did this, and it's very inspiring. Very, very inspiring. I'm inspired. for sure.
Yeah, it is a really cool story because it's not a very big team. They just took all the awards, ran away with it. I mean, I guess we're going to be talking about them for a while longer, right? This isn't just something that happens and then it's like, okay, now we're done with them. I'm really looking forward to whatever they make next.
Yeah.
Because, again, I didn't really enjoy the game. I had the same, like, okay, now everyone's talking about them. And then I reacted to that by playing the video game.
Nice.
And it is like, fairly cool. But not really my type of game. So if they make a different type of game in the future, I'm definitely keeping an eye out for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't played it. I'm generally pretty slow to new games, unfortunately. Although I have been playing Mugenics, which came out this week. Maybe if we have a sec at the end, we can talk about Mugenics. Because I think that's a pretty cool story as well.
We can make sure to have a little extra time to talk about it. It's your show. Well, on that note, should we move on to the next story?
Let me pull up the next one. I always like to do a little bit of ripping out the ads before I pop it on screen.
No.
Maybe I shouldn't, but, here we are.
Unfortunately, the next story is not as fun, but it is really interesting.
All right. Discord will soon require age verification for full access. This seems like a direct result of that article we were reacting to a few weeks ago, huh?
Where they went IPO?
Yeah, they're talking about IPO.
Yet. Yeah. And as well, I don't know if we talked about it, but they did get a new CEO. It might have been part of that article.
Might have.
So I'm not so surprised that this is a story that we're seeing this close to when we last talked about them. But should we define what full access? Like, should we go on further with the article?
Sure.
So, every Discord account is going to be marked as teen by default, which means that you're not going to have access to some not safe for work stuff, and if you get DMs from a person you don't know, then they're going to land in a different inbox. Like, there's very minor changes, but everyone will be regarded as a teen by default. And this move, according to Discord themselves, will enhance age-appropriate protections while maintaining privacy, community, and meaningful connection on the platform. Now, immediately, I have sort of a question about this, because this is like a similar move to what like Roblox has done previously, with the facial recognition and it not really working, etc., etc. But if you're trying to protect children from adults who are predators, for example, what point is there to marking everyone as a teen in that case? Because then the predators are marked as teens as well. Am I being silly? Or is this like not thought through at all?
No, I think that's a very valid point, first of all. I don't think that that's the key issue. But yeah, I think that that's a very good point.
Yeah. What would you say is the key issue then? If you have
well, in my opinion, it's just like parents not knowing what their kids are doing, right?
Yeah. And that's sort of my next thing is it feels like taking away like the tools for adults to like use the platform as they normally do does not protect kids as much as a parent saying you can only go on the Discord servers that I choose for you to use, for example. Like, we have a Discord server that we set up with your friends from class or your friends from the football team or whatever.
Yeah.
And like having high control on who's part of that Discord group, making sure to educate your children on like if someone writes to you that you don't know, like either tell an adult or ignore it. Like you shouldn't be doing that unless you're like, unless you know who it is or you're an adult and you can make your own choices, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like this has been happening all over the place. With, you know, the same thing happened in the UK and Australia,
Yeah.
with social media as well. And I don't know. The big issue for me is that I don't trust a third party with my personal data. Not Discord, but especially not the third party that they're using for the age verification.
Gotcha.
And I would never send my like an ID of or a picture of my passport or anything to Discord or a third party who works with Discord. I don't trust that at all. How do you feel about that?
Good question. It's usually case by case. I think in this case, like, I'll just see what I can do as a teen. Because I'll probably be like running my servers. Like, I don't know. I'm not like worried about it affecting my servers, my Discord servers. But if it does, then yeah, I guess I would have to do the identification because I really rely on Discord for a lot, actually.
Yeah. I've actually started looking at alternatives. I have found one. I'm not going to advertise them in the stream, but I have found an alternative that I probably will go to if I get like meaningfully restricted on Discord. Because I really feel like Discord is a cool platform with a lot of like my communities and the tools that I need to make a server and make it work well. Like my partner has a Discord server for her things that she does, and it is a really useful tool. But I feel like all of this is kind of getting in between me and the use of the tool, if that makes sense. It's sort of as if like, I don't know, I needed an age verification to use Visual Studio. I'd probably stop using Visual Studio and move over to Rider. That's sort of how I feel about it. Like, I'm not committed to using Discord, but I feel it feels unfortunate to kind of lose out on the community, to me.
Yeah, for sure.
The next sort of point from the article that I wanted to bring up is that Discord is going to implement an age inference model, a system that runs in the background to help determine whether an account belongs to an adult without always requiring users to verify their age. And my question there is like, what data are they using to infer how old I am? Are they looking through my messages? Like, I sure hope not. And if not, like, what else are they gathering information from? Like, how do you think there's anything that would tell you immediately that someone is a teenager just from like how they use their computer?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, it's obviously AI. And so it's just being fed a bunch of data. Let's see, what kind of data could they get? I mean, they probably get the email. Which could reveal some stuff. Like if the email has been alive for a long time, maybe they can infer that. I'd really hope there's not a lot more information that they get, but there probably is, like chat history, who they've been talking to historically, and like whether those people are verified adults, stuff like that. I don't know.
So we have this saying in Swedish called moment 22, which is basically you need A to do B, and then you need B to do A. I don't know if there's a saying like that in English, but it's basically a loop of like, well, you need information from somewhere else to figure out the steps to do the first thing, and then the second information comes from solving the first problem. And that kind of is what it feels like, is if they're going to infer on like who you're talking to or what games you're playing or whatever, you sort of have to make an assessment about those things first, and then assess other, like go back and reassess. It doesn't feel plausible that they would be able to guess, basically. I know tons of adults that play Minecraft and Roblox, and kids who play Elder Scrolls. It's I don't think I could guess, and I don't trust a machine to guess either. It's really easy to guess if you get someone's passport, but again, I don't trust someone else with the picture of my passport. That's like the first rule that I learned as a kid going on the internet is don't share your identification with like more than the government. Like if the government asks you to like send in a picture of your passport to verify that you are you, absolutely, like that's fair. Just make sure that it's a real government website and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't think I ever trusted Discord a lot, but I don't really think I do at all now. And I don't, depending on how this goes, it might get worse. And I'm a little bit cynical about it, but I'm also very privacy focused. So yeah, I would love to say that I'm interested in how this goes. I don't think I am. I just kind of want it to stop. I just want to use Discord as a tool.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, and I think maybe we could talk about like why they're doing this real quick. So yeah, like the changes will arrive around a year after Discord and Roblox were both accused of facilitating the sexual exploitation of a minor in a lawsuit filed in California. So Discord is somewhat lawless, right? In fact, Discord is like the best place to get a bunch of files that you can't find anywhere else on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And so there are reasons to be skeptical of putting your kid on Discord. And so
absolutely.
In fact, I just started a Minecraft server with all of my family. My siblings, my wife's siblings, and my wife's siblings are young. And so when we started up the Minecraft server, I created another Discord server so that, we can do voice chat with them. And I went to their parents and I was like, hey, just so you know, like, don't let them do anything else on Discord. And I was making sure that they knew they should only be on my server. Don't do anything else. And so, yeah, it's moments like those where I think maybe there needs to be an alternative. Maybe it is a little too sketch. And so, like, I understand the need for these things, for this moderation or for this verification. I don't agree with the method. Like, I don't think this will work. Just going to be real. Like, I don't think this works. And I'm very interested to see like what comes of it, like what alternatives come up. I've already seen on Twitter, there's like a bunch of, because I follow like the better science or better software people. I've already seen a bunch of them say, yeah, I'm creating my own thing. We're going to have, I'm moving my server over to a new thing. Here it is. And like people are upset. They're making the switch. And I'm interested to see if there's like a leader that comes out of this.
Yeah, I actually started looking into IRC, which sounds gross, but it's if I can use IRC and like host it myself, then I'm never going to use Discord again. I don't think. I've started self-hosting a lot, but that's mostly a joke. I don't think I'll actually use IRC for anything useful. It's such an old, protocol.
Internet relay chat? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's been around since like Amiga like old computers. But I did look really quickly at like what kind of parental controls Discord has, and they do apparently have like a family center where you can like see information about what your teen is doing. But I'm not sure exactly what you can do to control what your teen can do. Like I haven't read this through just yet.
Okay. You're talking like a new thing, or are you saying there's a current family center?
There is a current family center.
Oh, I'll have
So
to
you
check
can,
that
okay,
out.
you can block mature sexual media in direct messages from friends, which is
Interesting.
interesting. You can also block direct messages and message requests. You can block friend requests. I don't know if you can block server joining. But there seem to be like parental controls, and realistically, I don't think that one, Discord needs to do anything more than like put in really rigorous parental controls with like a lot of granularity, which is of course a lot of work.
Yeah.
But also two, make up a system that guesses for every account. That sounds like a lot of like wasted resources to me. Like, yeah, there's gonna be kids that make Discord accounts with like false age and a burner email or whatever. That's
Yeah.
always gonna happen. This doesn't really protect kids that are going to go around the system.
Exactly.
Because everyone's a teen. So if you don't want your teen talking to other teens, I guess that use something else.
Yep.
Because everyone's a teen now. It's weird. It's just a weird thing for them to do, but it's definitely like a tech stock option company move.
Yes. Exactly.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is like really due to the lawsuit, or if it's just like investors going like, hey, you got to do something. You should probably use AI for it because that's what everyone else is doing.
Classic.
So
Yeah, it's a very
yeah, it's
proven
weird.
technology, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I hate sarcasm. Sorry that I used it.
No, sorry. I'm Swedish. Sarcasm is like the default.
Well, I mean, same in America. I don't know. I've come to feel like sarcasm is like an inside joke that people are supposed to understand, but if you don't understand, you look stupid, and I feel like that's mean to make people look stupid.
Oh yeah, and we're supposed to be factual in this show. I forget.
Anyway, let's go to the next article.
Yes, let's do so.
This one looks interesting. This is we talked about it briefly last time, but Project Genie from Google. So let's see. It says game developers respond to Google's Project Genie, a deeply unpleasant and messy abomination. So I'll read this little in brief. Google rolled out its interactive generative AI interactive world builder, Project Genie, on the 29th of January. This Week in Video Games talked to developers about Project Genie's usefulness to understand how it could affect the future of game development. Even the deeply misguided notion that this could somehow replace humans in the game development process is dangerous to the continuation of the art form. All right, how do we get started on this one?
Yep. So again, yeah, we did talk a little bit about Project Genie last week, but we mostly talked about how it was like not really. It didn't seem really that great. Of course, you hadn't looked at it yet at that point.
No, but I did watch the little trailer they gave, but that's about it. That's all I know.
And I actually don't know much more about it than I did last week because I didn't really have any interest. So I haven't tried it out myself either.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what we talked about last week was that Unity stock Well, actually, yeah, look at this right here. Share prices in video game companies, including Roblox, Take-Two, CD Projekt Red, right, and Unity, plummeted after the announcement. And so then all of a sudden, like, Unity is responding to the media and saying, "Oh, don't worry, like, this isn't going to affect our stuff. In fact, we're going to implement AI world generation," and like everyone's kind of panicking in a way. So that's kind of the backstory here.
Yeah, and I have read actually that Unity are really, really, really interested in implementing AI into their game engine. So it kind of adds up. I didn't know how interested they were in it, but knowing what they've done before, like, it's not surprising either.
Yeah, I know there's like code help tools in Unity already. There's like a bunch of plugins for it, but yeah, for like the actual generation, like world generation aspect, could be kind of interesting. I mean, there are things like that. That's almost one of those things that I might be willing to accept. It could be good. With AI, because obviously there's going to be valuable things that come from this, and the only reason I say that is just like the notion that we use Photoshop for everything now, right? It's just like the age old, oh, we hated a technology, we thought it was making things too easy and thus less creative, but now we use it all the time, and it's still creative, right? Like it is a creative thing. And I think that AI can do that, and world generation might be one of those things, right? Like if there's a way for you to like start prompting out your world as like the way you start creating the terrain or the lighting or stuff like that, that could very well be a creative thing that comes from this. And so it is kind of interesting, I would say.
Yeah, and continuing in the article, I think this is like where we're getting closer to the issue here. Jay Peters at The Verge was immediately able to use Project Genie to generate near identical. You were right at it.
I'm so sorry.
At the top of the screen. It's the first segment on this screen there, right by your mouse.
This one, got it.
Jay Peters at The Verge was immediately able to use Project Genie to generate near identical copies of Nintendo games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario 64, and Metroid Prime. And like all these other AI projects, Diego Rivas from Google DeepMind said that it was trained primarily on publicly available data from the web.
Primarily.
And then primarily. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing at least 51% is what that means. And then Martin Binfield, who's the director of Schrodinger's Cat Burglar, which I have never heard of, but now I kind of want to look it up, said the fact that these videos have featured licensed characters shows the depths of unauthorized data scraping required to fuel this plagiarism engine. Like the quotes in this article are insane.
Yeah. The fact that the videos have featured licensed characters shows the depths of... Yeah, exactly. That was immediately what I thought when I was like, oh, near identical copies. Well, yeah, it was probably trained on it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, if it can make a copy of something, then it has that data. You know what I mean?
Right. And so this is sort of my problem with every AI tool that like pops up is how can you make an AI tool that is like rigorous and knows what it's like supposed to be creating without looking at previous like projects and previously created media, because you can't just make copies of stuff. Like that's like he says, plagiarism. That's a big no-no. That's in the best case copyright infringement. In the worst case, it's like, I don't know, it could bring your whole company down.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? That's the thing that I would worry about, is that like young devs that are good at AI are going to hop in, create a game, and immediately just get obliterated legally.
Right. Like look at what happened with Marathon I
Yeah.
think it's Bungie is making it, and they had an art style that was like completely copied from an artist that wasn't even like bothered about the use of it in Marathon. Like not even asked, not even mentioned anywhere, not even DM'd on Twitter. And they had to like rework their whole texture pipeline. Everything got changed. So if that's all it's going to be, like a plagiarism engine, which I think is like one of the coolest like phrases I've
Yeah.
ever heard in my life, then I don't think this is going anywhere. And especially if it's only available to Google AI Ultra subscribers at $250 a month, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That makes it only available to people that already have the money to use it. And those people, do they really? If you already have the money to just give everyone a license to use the AI, like what are you doing? Just hire like one or two more people, and then you have your like level designers, or you have your graphics developers. Like this is only going to be reasonable for AAA, who already
Well,
have so many developers.
I mean, a little bit of a counter to that is like a company's not going to blink an eye at 250 a month for each developer.
Well, if you're an indie dev of like one or two people,
Yeah.
you haven't released your first game,
Yeah.
and you're working out of like what you saved up from
Yeah, you're paying in
working
equity.
for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Will you really like not blink an eye at $250 a month? That's like I don't know what I would spend that money on, but definitely not in AI. I don't think. I'll probably spend it on like server hosting or something instead,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
rider licenses. Those aren't free either.
Yeah, true. But those are like 200 a year, right?
Yeah,
It's way less.
and then for me, that feels like a big cost.
I did. Yeah, I agree. I almost did
but
it one
like-
time for my birthday. I was like, I'm gonna splurge, get a what is it called? JetBrains license.
Yeah,
Anyway, I was like, oh
it
man,
just feels like
only for my birthday would I spend this much, and they're saying you have to spend that a month. Anyway,
FY they have a community edition now. You don't have to pay the $200 a year to
Oh,
use it.
okay.
You can just use it. But yeah, it just feels a little silly. And I think a lot of people are way more angry about it than I am, for once.
yeah, yeah, definitely this right here. Generate near identical copies of Nintendo games. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, it's just
And I have one more
so
angle on this.
dishonest. Everything is so dishonest.
It is. But I have one more angle on it that is like less attached to the whole AI bit and more
Okay.
like a passion thing. Because both you and I are working on custom game engines, right?
Uh-huh.
You're doing it on stream, I'm doing it for school, but we're still like doing the same thing in general.
Yeah.
And I feel like having the possibility to do so without being like told like why aren't you just doing it this way, well, people still tell you that you should be using Godot or whatever,
Yep.
but it's not unreasonable to make your own game engine from a like, no, I need it for this point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I would really miss that if everything just goes AI like this, like the control and the like the little weird bits of like pointer management and stuff like that. Just knowing for a fact that everything that I'm doing is going to work in the same way wherever people play it. I don't trust this Genie tool to work the same everywhere. I don't trust it to remember how it did the first time when it's played the 200th time.
Mm-hmm.
Just with like AI not having a very big memory of like what stuff's supposed to look like. Of course, again, I haven't tried it, but I don't really trust it to remember the world as it was asked to be. If
Yeah.
I can have that control to build it exactly as I want it to be, then I can trust that it will be played in the same-ish way every time it's played. And so I don't know. It doesn't unless they solve that problem, which I'm sure is a problem. I don't think I'll be using this tool.
Yeah, and like I was talking earlier how I think like it could be interesting for World Gen to be AI. But what I mean is not what they're doing. So what they're doing is like they're trying to generate games on the fly. Like you're playing in the AI, right? And is that correct? Am I right by saying that?
Yeah, exactly. They're basically they're generating frames.
Yeah, it's image gen. And so that's not interesting to me. I think there are a lot of people that want that, where like you can hop into a game and it just becomes the game you want to play. I think that that's maybe a little lonely. Like you can't share that game with anyone because it's only going to generate once. It's going to be different the next time you play it. We talked about that AI Minecraft game that's totally cursed. It looks kind of fun. And people have like started doing speedruns of it and stuff because you can like look at like a block from like a different angle and then like rotate your camera and now you're in like the end and you can beat the Ender Dragon right there or whatever. And and it's pretty funny. So you kind of like you can kind of gamify it in a way. But that's like I don't know, that's people are making their own game of that. You know what I mean? It's not they're not playing the game, they're playing their own game. They're playing a speedrun game. And then but like what I think could be useful is like instead of training everything on Legend of Zelda and like other Nintendo games, like just train it on the real world, right? Train it on Google Maps or whatever. And then when I hop into Unity, I can say, hey, generate like a valley with like snow on the peaks and like a waterfall over here and like a little lake in the middle. And like, boom, you've got like a template to start working on, right? I think that something like that could be extremely useful without plagiarizing anything. So something like that I could see being awesome. And well, kind of where I would like AI to go, but that's just not the way it's going.
I feel like we already have that as well.
Oh yeah, a bunch of stuff like that works already. But I feel like it could be better. Let me see if I can
find it. World Engine. I think that's the one that I'm thinking about. It's basically what you're talking about, but it's like it's already built, but it uses like noise and different algorithms to just make worlds. I don't know if it's World Engine specifically. I think it might be another one.
Well, yeah, and but like maybe you would use that like after the prompt, but like the prompt would be like you could have a little bit of a conversation, and it's like you can watch it like generating and like changing based on the prompts you give it for the first little bit. I don't know if you'd be able to use that as the end goal, but I think that could be a cool way to like start the generation of your world.
I'm gonna send it to you because I think you're gonna find it pretty cool. It's called World Machine.
And
it's a simulation of like the terrain, and then you use that in your game engine, and then you get your world. And it's got many very, very cool tools.
Oh, I see.
But that's also not really just what they're doing, of course, like you said.
Yeah, if you know, if that's what they were actually doing, I could maybe be excited, but instead they are, you know, generating near identical copies of Nintendo games, which is not my favorite to hear. So they're like, look at this, we did this really cool thing, and we're over here like, what? You say what? You're like self-reporting? That's new.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest problem for me is that what I think is so cool about video games is that people make them.
Yeah.
And they are inspired by each other. as with any other art, you can see influences from modern games, or in modern games from old games. Like Clair Obscur, for example, has a very similar combat system to Persona or like the old Final Fantasies, and they put a new twist on it. And like that's the cool thing, is that they're analyzing what worked with the previous thing and making something new. And I feel like what this AI tool is doing is just, again, copying, which doesn't give it more value. It almost gives it less value,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yep. Well said.
We'll see what happened was.
Good way to cap that one off. Because we got one more article.
Yes. And I'm guessing you don't know anything about what Ashes of Creation is, or why this is a big deal, or anything.
You would
so
be
maybe
wrong.
I should take this one.
You would be wrong.
Oh, you actually do know about it.
Yeah, I was a Pirate Software fan for a year or so.
Oh,
so,
right. He did talk about it.
Yeah, he was Mr. Spokesman for Ashes of Creation. And so, yes, I have followed this.
Well, if you want to take it away, then be my guest.
All right, we'll just start with the heading. Report. Ashes of Creation developer Intrepid Studios shuts down weeks after the MMO's early access launch. So, I haven't read the article. Let's see if I can skim it real quick. Yeah, so I'm going to give just a little bit of history on this real quick. Oh, one sec. My timer's going off to hit my lens. Okay. So, a little bit of history. Stephen Sharif, this is his baby, right? He was a big old school MMORPG fan. And he was like, I want to get back to that. And so he put together a team to make a nice, modern, yet old school MMORPG. And he funded it himself. Like, yes, it's the product of a hugely successful Kickstarter, but everything else was him. He was a successful businessman of some sort. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, he was funding this and brought it all the way up to, I believe, December. Is that correct? Like this past December, he was heading this project.
Yeah, I think so.
And then resigned. And so, yeah, it says, it turns out Sharif resigned from Intrepid recently, posting in the game's Discord, I can make a limited statement in my personal capacity and not on the behalf of the company regarding the situation. Control of the company shifted away from me, and the board began directing actions that I could not ethically agree with or carry out. So essentially, control was ripped from him. He left, then the game released. And here we are. One sec. StreamDB. Or SteamDB. I was saying the wrong thing. In fact, can I even find it? Okay, I can find it. We're good. Because I know that they took it down, right?
I don't know if they did.
Yeah, they took it down. Look, February 2nd. They I don't think you can play it anymore. Let me go to Steam.
Probably not.
Like, I don't think you can even create an account anymore. Oh, great. Come on, Steam. Ah! Why is it on my account? Okay.
Thanks, Steam.
Thanks so much. I hit store and it's my account. The heck.
Oh, look at those reviews.
Overwhelmingly negative. Holy 8%.
Well, it's not surprising.
Positive. Yeah, boom. Early access, but you can't click anywhere to buy it or play it. It's down. So yeah, what did you want to talk about on this one?
I specifically wanted to talk about Kickstarter and early access, and the gambling on projects. Because it's not, the details of how it ended are less interesting to me. There are some details that I don't think are part of this article specifically, but it seems like, for example, that the board was 2 people, where the CEO was included on the board. So it's a little weird that the board would have shifted away control from him.
Because it would have just been his partner or whatever.
Yeah,
on the board.
it's a little weird. The details are a little scuffed. But what I'm more interested in is, so this company wanted to make an MMORPG without having the resources to do so. Started Kickstarter, and got a lot of money out of that Kickstarter because people were excited for a new MMO. And this is the
crazy.
thing about MMO players. We love when new MMOs come out and they are cool looking because we just want to play MMOs, right?
Yeah.
Like, before we started talking today, I was playing Winecraft, which is a Minecraft MMORPG server. And just like MMOs are always like in high demand, but with very like not low really, but with very like stuck player base. You have the big MMO games like Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft, and shifting people away from those huge games is really, really hard. And making an MMORPG is really, really, really hard. It takes a lot of people and takes a lot of money and time. So it's a big gamble to kickstart an MMORPG. And even early access is a pretty big gamble for both players and developers, because you don't have the confirmation like this game is going to come out. But I feel like early access is usually a little bit more of a sure bet than Kickstarter is.
Yeah, well, also, this game had the alpha, right? The paid alpha.
You know more about this than I do.
Yeah, sorry.
Is that a Kickstarter thing? Like, if you paid on Kickstarter, you got access?
No, they just, like, on their own website, they kicked off, like, you could pay to play the game over, like, I think it was over a year ago they did this, and you could play the game in alpha. So people have been playing it for, like, 2 years, I think.
Dang.
And there was a lot of controversy around that, too, because they were basically, like, asking people to pay $120 to join the alpha, and people were like, what? It's an alpha, that's for you. You should be like giving it to me for free or paying me, you know?
Yeah.
But turns out lots of people were really excited for this game, and they were paying to join the alpha. There was a lot of players.
Have you ever bought into anything on Kickstarter?
No, well, okay, that's a lie. I have. I joined the most successful Kickstarter of all time. Do you know what it is?
No.
It was the Brandon Sanderson Secret Projects.
I don't know what this is.
You don't know what that is? Okay.
No.
I feel like maybe I should go get them, but here, let's do this. I'll do it on a different tab. One second. Here we go.
Now I'm feeling out of the loop.
Yeah. Have you ever read Brandon Sanderson books?
No, I don't think that's like something we do in Europe.
What? No, he's definitely big
who
in
is
Europe.
it?
He did
Who is it?
So
like what he
did
released?
Mistborn and Way of Kings and Elantris. Anyway.
Wow, I've never heard of these books in my life.
Really? Oh, you got to read them. They're really good. So anyway, I'm a big fan.
Fantasy or sci-fi?
Yeah. Epic fantasy, sci-fi.
Cool.
His big thing is he's like the best at world building. And so he will create
bias.
No, like well-known world builder. He'll create entire planets, ecosystems, new laws of physics, and explain his magic system with his fantasy science and stuff like that.
Cool.
and then also great storyteller. Like, he's well known for the world building, but his stories are great too. Anyway, he announced one day, he's like, hey, it was COVID and I didn't have a lot to do, so I wrote 4 books. And he was like, I'm just doing a Kickstarter to see if people would be interested in reading the books. And yeah, he got, I think it was like 4,000% of his goal or whatever. So
Sick.
it was, yeah, most successful Kickstarter of all time. So I was a part of that one. But other than that, no, I have not done any Kickstarters.
I've helped fund a couple of indie games, like 3 or 4, I think. And
That's
one
cool.
of them has come out. 2 of them I don't know. And one is currently in early access. Which is not really that good result, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely looked into doing that. Like, I've seen, you know, you'll see like a YouTube video of someone working on their game and they're like, yeah, I've got a Kickstarter for it. And you go to the Kickstarter page and it looks nice. Like, they do a really good job with the art, like making the page look nice and being like, yeah, this is what the game's going to be. I just want a little funding to get it over the line. And I've been like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good thing to do. You know, just like pitch in, give this creator a little bit of help, and then, like, you know, when you do that, they usually give you something back. Like, there's like tiers to it. I think Hollow Knight was one of those where you could join the Kickstarter, and if you got a high enough tier, you got your name in the game, like in the graveyard or whatever.
Right.
Those seem pretty cool and pretty fun, but every time I look at them, I'm like, there's a chance this just doesn't get over the line, and then I get nothing, right? Or like, there's a huge chance that this is just a really good art team, and they just made like a really nice page, and then sucked a ton of money out of people and then left. So
Yeah, I feel like that's where Kickstarter and early access on Steam is like a little bit different.
yeah,
Because if you pay for early access, you get a product to play immediately.
yeah, you're playing a game. Yeah.
A game that I have paid for early access for is Valheim, the Viking game made by a Swedish studio.
Yeah, me too, actually. I played
really
that one
cool.
on early access.
We've stopped playing it because we're like waiting for it to be finished so we can actually play it, because we've restarted like 4 times when they've added new stuff in early game. So we're waiting, but they're like they released a little update recently celebrating 5 years of early access or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is a long time, but I mean,
It is a long time,
makes sense.
but it's also a great game.
They've done a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel less sort of worried about early access. Usually it's at a lower price, right? And I feel like, okay, I can actually try it, and I can see that this is at some point of me playing it a game, and I can like feel like, yeah, okay, I got value for my purchase. I don't really feel the same way with Kickstarter. Oh, I do remember what game it was that I bought on Kickstarter. Session. It's a skateboarding game, and it's absolutely terrible now.
Oh no. No.
Because they really didn't follow what they said in the Kickstarter that they would do. So it's like half finished, and then they added they got bought up by a publisher. I don't remember which one, but they basically got told to make DLC instead of finishing the game, and so now the game is out with DLC missing half of the things that they said during Kickstarter, which is unfortunate. And I don't know really what went wrong here. It sounds like there was like office politics that kind of landed it in being cancelled. But it feels really weird to me that they released Ashes of Creation into early access, and then 2 months later went, no, we're done. It's very like quick progress from like, here's a product, especially if you, like you said, the alpha's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Just kind of dump it on people, get the last bit of money out of like selling it on Steam, and then canceling it. That's really weird.
Yeah, totally agree. I don't think that we can attribute this to office politics, unfortunately. I think maybe we could attribute the game's quality to office politics, and then the downfall to be based on the game's quality.
Is there any way to see the reviews at like a certain point?
Ooh,
Because last
I
30
don't
days,
know.
yeah, that's not very helpful because the game's cancelled.
Well, but the game was only really alive for 30 days, right?
Well, they said 2 months, didn't they? Because it would have been interesting to see like what the reviews looked like.
Oh yeah, my bad. It released in December.
What it looked like, the first week after early access release. Like, was the game even fun? Did people enjoy playing it? It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, like that's the thing is, I was a Pirate Software fan. He was talking about it. He had like a cool group. Well, okay, I say cool, in quotes. He had a group of people that were, all playing at the same time. They were all leveling together, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks pretty cool, pretty fun. There's like a mayor system that seemed nice, and the PvP seemed really good too. But yeah, to see this like downward trend immediately after release makes me think that it wasn't very good. That's like, I think that maybe in alpha it was good, but then something changed. Steven Sharif had less control, whatever. And yeah, looks like it didn't do well. Because I feel like if the game is good, but then there's office politics that like ruin it, like get it canceled on Twitter or whatever, you'll see like a massive spike at the beginning. But
Yeah.
like this is like, I mean, this is big. If my game had 30,000 players, I'd be extremely happy. But this was a massive project. It took them almost 10 years, I think. So you're not happy with 30,000.
No, absolutely not. That's not enough. Especially for an MMO.
Yeah.
Like, they would have needed it to be at like 300,000 at least.
Yeah, and I guess that brings up another point, which is like at load, like maybe it wasn't performing well. But again, like at release, only 30,000. People must have like, maybe I got the timeline wrong, because I didn't think that it had released on December 11th or whatever. So maybe I was getting the timeline wrong. Maybe it released and then Steven Sharif left.
And by the way, if you want to look at like what the reviews looked like, you can go on the Steam page and see the graph. If you go to the reviews, there's a show graph button. Yeah.
Oh.
So you can see like they're
yeah.
in December.
I gotta go back a little bit.
It was like, yeah, the graph to the right only goes to January. I don't know why. But on the left there, you can see that it was
like
mixed
50-50.
even when it was released. And it didn't get much better. I think it looked like they peaked at like 69% positive, which is fine. But to start off with, what is it, 47% positive? Like that's not indicative of like a game that's gonna survive for very long, especially if it's an MMO.
And then the day it was canceled, it got 925 negative reviews.
Dude,
and
that graph
43
is
positive.
incredible. You've seen the graph for Helldivers 2 when they did the PlayStation thing? I don't even think it was that bad.
Was it not?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it was probably more negative reviews, but it just Yeah, look, it's just that.
Oh, yeah, 33%. That's better than 4%.
So,
Oh man.
you know,
Yeah, I was not a fan of what they did here, what Sony did here, but I love the game, so I kept playing. I like to me, office politics is not a reason to dislike a game. Maybe and apparently most people, okay, not most people, but a lot of people still feel the same, right? Like 114,000 people were coming in and backing them up, right? Because they were like, "Oh, it's getting review bombed. Let's put forth our voices, right?"
yeah.
At the same
Yeah,
time.
there was nothing wrong with the game, but the publisher
Yeah.
did something stupid.
Yeah.
And the game is still not available in most countries of the world.
Yeah. It's true.
So,
And guess what? I played the other day. There were 173,000 players online.
yeah.
It's a great game.
Yeah, me and my
So,
buddy still play. It's an awesome game.
so like even that, like they were getting canceled on Twitter, and the game was good, and so it's alive, you know. But Ashes, I'm just betting game wasn't good. That's my bet. Like, yes, there was like a bunch of drama around Steven Sharif, but like I think in the end it wasn't good enough, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure the drama didn't kill the game. The game killed the game.
Yeah.
And I did kind of scrub through some of the reviews from the release, and it just did seem like, hey, this game just isn't really that fun. It's got a lot of potential, but at this point in time, it's not really worth playing, which sucks. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of feel for the devs mostly, because if they've
Yeah.
been working on it for such a long time. I'm not really sure what makes a game suck. Like, I haven't ever made a game that people just go, "Hey, this game really sucks." But I also haven't tried to make an MMORPG, and there's so
Yeah.
much in the MMORPG that, you know, if the systems just don't add up, the game just feels like it's flat. It doesn't give you anything. So I guess the stakes are a little higher.
Well, and maybe one thing, like right here, Ashes of Creation is a self-proclaimed old school take on the modern MMORPG, right? Like they were trying to be an old school MMO, like OSRS, or what do they call
EverQuest 2.
What?
EverQuest 2 still alive.
EverQuest 2 is still alive. What's the World of Warcraft called that's not retail WoW? Is it just called
Classic?
Classic WoW? There we go. So people still play those, and they were trying to enter that space, right? They were trying to say, oh, people like the old heads of MMOs that love the grind and all that, they're gonna want this game, and they anticipated that like a ton of people would want that, but like maybe in the modern era, people don't like the grind as much. The games are fast and fun these days. You don't have to like ramp up to the fun anymore. I wonder if there's like maybe a shift in that regard. It's just speculation.
Yeah.
I'm making stuff up, but I wonder if that's a thing.
I'm sure it is. Like, I think it's pretty hard to get new players to play a like old school style MMO.
Yeah.
I do really like old school RuneScape, but it is very grindy, and it's not for everyone.
It's only a grind.
Yeah, it's
That's the fun
but,
part
but
of
it's
it.
like playing Cookie Clicker.
Yeah.
Except you have a cool character with like turquoise mohawk.
Yeah.
That's what my character looks like, by the way.
Awesome.
But it's like you gotta be a kind of a nerd to even like hop into it. So if you're
Yeah.
if you don't already have like an investment from like a personal point, then you're not gonna be like, oh, this is great. Like, imagine trying to get kids today to play like Minecraft beta without like telling them like this is the best thing ever. They just hop into it and like say this sucks. Everything looks bad. I can't do anything because it doesn't have any content, and you die super easily. Also, stuff doesn't stack. Like, the list just goes on and on and on. And I bet that was something that happened with Ashes of Creation. That it was just like, they didn't add any quality of life. People hated that. No group finder, probably. People are gonna think it sucks.
Yeah.
So, but it's unfortunate to see, because I love MMORPGs. I would love to have more people play them. I want to play ones that are like a little bit different. And then, because I already have the games that are the same. I play Rift, I play old school RuneScape. That's already been done.
Yeah.
I've even tried the Neverwinter, the Dungeons and Dragons MMORPG. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We don't really need more of those. And the people that like that stuff, they already have it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna like dog the devs too much, but they really picked a difficult task to complete.
Yeah. Really a sucky situation. I definitely feel bad for the devs. I mean, 10 years of your life. I guess they were probably getting paid because they had the Kickstarter, and then also like Steven Sharif was funding it the whole time. So hopefully that went well for them, but like, yeah, they were probably passionate about it, not gonna lie. And so that would be really, really sad to have it turn out this way.
Yeah.
I hope they go on to make a really cool indie game on their own or something, you know? I hope.
Yeah, I'm sure they learned a lot of
quits.
stuff. Because if you're working on an MMORPG, like I've been brainstorming like what I need to make an MMORPG. Like it's a lot to keep track of. So if they even got it working, I'm sure they learned enough to make games on their own.
Yeah.
But with the industry being as it is, trying to get like money to start a new company, that's a little tough as well. We'll see what happens, but I think a lot of those people will just go to already established companies and make cool stuff there instead.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That's time. Thanks for
you
the
didn't
articles.
have time to talk about Mugenics.
We'll talk about it another time. I've just been watching the little. No, following is not what I want. I've just been watching the little what would you call it? Victory lap they've been doing.
Yeah.
On Twitter. Like,
so did it go well?
Oh yeah, extremely well.
Yay!
And so like yeah, they're just doing like a little victory lap. Like Ed is just reposting people's playing the game. Look at this guy has 108 hours.
Jesus.
Just yeah, victory lapping. And I think it's fun.
It's on sale now as well for anyone watching. Go get it.
Yeah, it released.
It's a cool indie game.
It released on sale. Is it still like
10% off?
Yeah. So it released 10% off. Okay. Thanks. What? Oh, is it doing the thing where it's not gonna show me things that are like NSFW or whatever?
Does it count as NSFW?
Yeah, I mean it's like eugenics, right?
Oh yeah, well I guess. Oh my god, that's a little bit much.
I mean, there might be cats humping in the trailer.
Oh right, that's true. Well, at least we got to mention it. That it's a cool game. People should play it.
I've been having fun. Ed says it's his magnum opus. He said that because he started this 12 years ago. Actually, I think 13 years ago. And he had to cancel it for the moment because he didn't know how to do it. And he made Binding of Isaac to learn how to make this game.
Dang.
Is that crazy?
That is crazy.
But it's a super different game from Binding of Isaac. It is like a tactics game.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of gameplay of it from like way back. But it looks cool.
Yeah.
And 12,000 positive reviews. Pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean it's extremely liked. Yeah, I think they said they sold like 300,000 copies in like 2 days,
Sick.
which is the dream.
Yeah.
He said
I'm very
Binding
happy
of
for him.
Isaac sold 40,000 copies in that same amount of time. And like people know Ed for Binding of Isaac or like Super Meat Boy, and those games were like
Yeah.
way less successful than this. So anyway, I think that that's been a really cool success story for them. And it's a custom engine because Flash doesn't really exist anymore. And so
Right.
Tyler Gleil wrote a custom engine that can parse Flash files and display them. Yeah, it's just custom C++ engine. So I'm obviously a fan of that. Oh yeah, look at that. Cat's humping. We made it.
They make it look so cute though.
Yeah. I will
Well,
say
anyway.
though, turning off the humping is really fun too because the like alternate animations are really creative and fun. So anyway,
I'm looking forward to playing it.
yeah.
All right. Does
Well,
that wrap it up?
Yep, that's it. I gotta hop off. I'm late as always.
Oh well. Such is life.
Yep.